Question time with Dr. Tim.
Ready.
In what year of your childhood did you learn the most, and is there something that you can learn from that?
4th grade.
Talk to me about that.
Mrs. Wentz
Uh-oh.
was my teacher. Don't make it dirty, Billy.
Now you did.
It wasn't
Okay.
about that. I was in 4th grade, for hell's sake.
You seem like you're doing a great job.
No.
Keep going.
So Mrs. Wentz was one of those amazing teachers who basically told me, and I believed her because I was in 4th grade, that I was smarter than everybody else, right? And I obviously wasn't, but she made me think that I was, and we were doing poetry that year, specifically Robert Frost.
Awesome.
Right? And so we were reading, 4th grade, right? We're reading Robert Frost. And so she has us write poems. And so Robert Frost wrote a poem called The Road Less Traveled, right? So it's probably his most famous poem. And I had to memorize that and then give that in front of the class, and then we had to write poems. And when I wrote my poem, she framed it and put it on her, above her desk. Just mine.
Awesome.
And I literally thought, I'm the next Robert Frost. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And for years, I've written poetry since then. And I won several awards, actually, in poetry. Weird. This is a part of my life nobody knows about.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so it was interesting how one person could have that much influence on a kid, right? She didn't know me, I didn't know her, I've never seen her since or that, and she probably doesn't know my name, but I know her name. Her name was Mrs. Wentz, and she literally changed my life from this sort of insecure young 4th grader to this, hey, I'm smart because Mrs. Wentz says I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
For me, oh man, I can think of a couple of years, but I would have to say that the biggest shift culturally that I learned the most from was 9 years old. I grew up in Queens, New York up until then, right there in the city, you know, and my whole world was New York. All my friends were there. You know, it was like the late 70s. You could still ride your bike up and down the street and go get pizza up the street. It was like a Martin Scorsese
Sure.
movie, right? And so, but then my parents moved us to Florida because if you're from New York, you're socially obliged to move to Florida at some point in your life. Everyone
all
in
New Yorkers
Florida
moved to Florida.
is from New York.
For sure.
True story.
For sure.
So we moved to Florida, and I was really upset about it. I didn't want to go. It was like, you're ripping me out of all of my school, my friends, my entire world. There's no way anything could be better than what I had right there. We moved to a little coastal town on the Gulf Coast called Crystal River. Gorgeous place. Manatee capital of North America. Scallops out the wazoo. An amazing place to go through junior high and high school and become a man. And I had the most amazing experiences, met a lot of amazing people, and it completely changed the trajectory of my life.
Yeah, but
And it really set the stage for what I wanted the rest of my life to be. Because if I had this idea of what Florida was going to be, and I was totally categorically wrong,
yeah.
how much else out there that's awesome is waiting for me to see it? And it really kind of started this whole like insatiable curiosity in me. And so I would have to say that was probably like the most pivotal change.
So I will say that if those of you who don't know, Billy has truly an insatiable curiosity. He's like just curious about everything, wants to learn everything, figure out everything. We go someplace and he's like more curious than any person I've ever met. So I don't think that's an exaggeration. And I have the same, right? I have this wonder of the world. I always say, this is not a stage rehearsal. We don't get another one of these as far as I know. I want to fit as much into this one as I can. I want to go all the places and try all the foods and meet all the people and make love to all the women. And that was before I got married. And, but you know what I'm saying? Experience what's out there to experience and climb the mountain and swim in the ocean and do all of those things. And that's really how this whole living every minute thing got started, right?
Sure.
So it's not surprising that you were attracted to this based on that story you just told.
100%. Yeah. I mean, and that's one of the reasons why, every day that I come in, it's easy to immerse yourself with something that resonates with you to your core.
And that we so desperately want to share with other people.
Right.
It's not just a matter of saying it. We love it when people send us something on social media or an email or a phone call and tell us, hey, I've been living every minute. Let me tell you what we've been doing. Let me tell you this thing we've done. Nothing lights us up.
100%.
100%. Great.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks.